down.
Hey everybody, it's Patty Dobrovolsky with Up Your Creative Genius and Creative Genius U, the equation that makes you great. This week, we are dealing with the third part of the equation, desire. So far, we've done imagination times intuition plus desire is number D on this. D times drive. We'll get to drive later, but right now, desire. What is desire? Desire is, your longing, your want, your attraction for something awesome. It could be a person, place, or thing, right? It could be a dream that you're attracted to. But all you want to do this week is learn how your desire actually works for you. It is one of the buttons that you can push anytime you need to reboot yourself. So here's how. All right, so let's take an example of this woman who watched one of my TED Talks. Becky, she really felt like after she watched the Draw Your Future that it was like she had a picture in her mind of a dream catcher, that she was the dream catcher that was catching this dream of herself as a coach, helping people to live their best life. And that image that she drew helped to inspire her and really brought up this feeling of desire that she'd had for a long, long time. And often when we have a dream of the future, we have buried it deep below the surface. And so this week, we're gonna unbury that dream of yours. We're gonna dust it off and put it to work. Now, that was her example, and she had a really positive experience. Things really flipped around for her. She stepped into being that coach. But that doesn't happen for everybody. Why? Because like for Ted, this guy, he had a dream, but somewhere along the way he got stalled. It didn't happen as quickly as he wanted it to, and then he started to go back to his default programming, his old story that played over and over again in his head. And the confusion for our brain that it feels when we don't get something at the pace that we think, and we start to go down that old road or jump off that cliff, the slippery slope, down into the valley of despair, is that it gets confused in the patterning and repatterning of your brain between the past, do you want that, or do you actually want something in the future? And this confusion can make you stall out. And it is really depressing to be caught in that place of limbo where you know you need something to change for you, but you're not sure exactly how. How will it change? And so here's one way that you can get yourself rebooted. First, you want to rekindle this desire component. You want to remind yourself what it was that brought you to want that dream to begin with. So how do you do that? You've got to dip into this pool of love, really love, because you ask yourself, what do I really, really, really want? By asking yourself what you really, really, really want, you're getting beyond what your ego thinks you want and what your mom said you should do to what you really want. And once you're clear on that, it gives you the opportunity to focus your attention. And when you then allow what you really, really want to sit in your imagination and you paint the picture of what that will be and daydream a positive future about that, what you do is you start the programming machine. And those people they found in a study who actually daydream this positive future access something called prospective bias. And people who daydream a positive future have a higher level of attention focus, and that focus gives you control over what you are dreaming. You will continue to daydream the positive future versus going back to that old story. And so you want to build out that positivity in a way that it really taps you. It taps you deeply where you feel it. And this is where the feeling plus the picture really accelerates your success. That feeling, that love, that attention and focus, is what creates the draw between you and a person, place, or thing. So this is how it worked for Marcy and Stan. So they wanted to be in an orchestra, and they had been emailing different orchestras in Florida looking for some place that they could play. You know, he plays the oboe and she plays the violin. I believe that's the instruments that they play. And they are awesome. They're really positive. You know, Marcia, she'll always go on and on about how she just loves to play because it's a true flow for her. So it's something she really, really wants. And Stan, he wants to play too. So they go to look online and they find an orchestra in Tampa who actually accepts people from the community. So they send an email to the conductor and she emails right back and she says, hey, if you could be here in an hour, I'll let you audition to sit in with the orchestra tonight. And so, man, they hop in the car and they drive as fast as they can, and it's rush hour traffic in Tampa, right? But all the time that Marcia's driving, he is actually just drawing a picture of them in that orchestra with things going well, how they'll feel, or how they'll just blend in perfectly, all the aspects of that dream. Well, they get there, and the conductor says to them, gosh, I don't have time to audition you. Will you just sit in with the orchestra and we'll see how you do? Well, of course, they do fantastic. And they get into that orchestra and they get to continue to play. It's just amazing. But they said it was the drawing of the picture that helped them to focus their love and attention. And that love and attention fueled this seed, this reservoir, so they had more belief that it was possible. And that's how it will happen for you. When you dip into that love reservoir of something, a person, place, or thing, you actually spark this thing that is inside of you that wants to make it happen. And you'll rekindle your desire. So your mission this week, should you choose to accept it, is to, one, daydream something. Pull out some daydream you've had from the past that you really, really, really wanted, but you buried it for some reason. Pull it up. Might be that you wanted to write a poem, or you wanted to do a monologue, or maybe you wanted to just reach your health goals, or something like that. Write a book. I want you to pull it out, draw a picture of it, letting your imagination and your intuition guiding you to all of the things that are going to fulfill that vision for you, and then choose one thing to do. Just one simple thing that you can do to bring that vision to life, and go do that. This is going to show you how powerful your desire is and how it will fuel you in oh so many ways. I can't wait to see what happens for you. Post it in the Facebook group. Send me an email, draw me a picture, and send it to me. Until next time, up your creative genius.